The morning sun glared off the steel gates of Fort Crescent, slicing through the mist like a blade. Two young guards stood at attention, rifles slung, sweat glistening down their temples. They had no idea the woman walking toward them would soon change everything about the base and about them. She moved quietly, her boots pressing into the gravel with steady rhythm. Her uniform was crisp, though the patches on her shoulders were covered by a plain jacket. There was calm in her eyes, the kind that came from surviving storms most could never imagine. "Ma'am, you're not allowed beyond this point," one guard barked, raising a hand to block her path. The woman stopped. Her gaze fell on his name tag. Riley. The same Riley she'd once pulled out of a burning convoy 3 years ago. He didn't recognize her. Not yet. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening." The silence between them stretched, charged with quiet authority. The other guard, Thompson, shifted uncomfortably. "Orders are orders, ma'am," he said. "Base is off limits to visitors until inspection's complete." The woman's lips curved slightly. "Visitors?" she murmured. "That's one word for it." She handed him a sealed envelope. Orders signed by the general himself. But before they could open it, a convoy of jeeps roared through the gates behind them. Officers stepped out, laughing, oblivious to the tension at the checkpoint. Among them was Colonel Avery, the man who believed the next commander would be him. He spotted the woman and froze mid-laugh. His face paled. "Captain Torres?" he said, voice tight. "What are you doing here?" Her reply was simple. "Reporting for duty, Colonel, as the new base commander." The laughter around him died instantly. The air turned still. Even the wind seemed to pause, waiting. Riley blinked, realizing too late who he'd just stopped at the gate. He stammered, "Ma'am, I didn't." Torres raised a hand. "No need for apologies, soldier. You followed protocol. That's exactly what I expect from my men." But behind her calm tone, her heart thudded. She could feel the weight of every eye on her. Some filled with disbelief, others with quiet resentment. She'd earned her stars in the field, not in offices, not through favors, and that unsettled those who had. Inside the base, whispers followed her like shadows. "She's too young. She's a woman. She doesn't belong here." Still, she walked through the halls as if she'd been born to lead there. Each step was deliberate, quiet but commanding. When she reached the command room, the air reeked of stale coffee and hierarchy. Maps hung unevenly on the wall. Equipment lay scattered. The old leadership's negligence was everywhere. "First order," she said firmly, setting down her file. "Clean this place. I want operational readiness by dawn," Colonel Avery scoffed. "With all due respect, ma'am, that's not your call until the official handover ceremony tomorrow." Her eyes lifted, cold, steady, unflinching. "It's my call the moment my boots hit this floor." A hush fell. Then, like soldiers recognizing the storm before the thunder, everyone moved. Hours passed. The base buzzed with renewed energy. She worked alongside them, hauling gear, checking reports, eating in the same mess hall. Some soldiers watched, confused, others inspired. By nightfall, the same guards who'd stopped her at the gate were still awake, scrubbing the training grounds. When she approached, Riley straightened. "Permission to speak, ma'am." "Go ahead," she said. "I didn't know it was you this morning. I should have remembered your face." She smiled faintly. "You remembered what mattered. Your duty." He hesitated. "Most commanders would have written me up for that." "Most commanders," she replied softly, "forget what it means to earn a salute." As the night deepened, thunder rolled in the distance. A storm was coming, literal and otherwise. Reports of a border flare-up came in through static-filled radios. Men rushed to their stations. Torres's calm didn't waver. "Deploy search units north sector," she ordered, "and no unnecessary risks. We do this right." Minutes later, the team was on the move. But then, lightning struck near the hangar. A fuel truck caught fire. Chaos erupted. Without hesitation, Torres sprinted into the blaze. Flames licked the edges of her sleeves, but she didn't stop. She yanked open the truck door and pulled the trapped driver out just as the tank exploded behind them. When the smoke cleared, the same soldiers who'd whispered against her stood frozen in awe. Her face was streaked with soot, her voice steady as ever. "Next time, check your fuel lines before refueling under storm alert." A moment of stunned silence. Then applause broke out, raw and real. Riley was the first to salute her. One by one, every soldier followed. Colonel Avery stepped forward, his pride swallowed by respect. "Base Commander Torres," he said, voice low. "We're ready for your command." She nodded once, eyes glinting in the fading firelight. "Then let's get to work. We have a base to rebuild, together." And from that night on, Fort Crescent changed. It wasn't run by fear or hierarchy anymore, but by discipline, courage, and humanity. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back, and sometimes it returns wearing stars on its shoulders and fire in its heart. If this story moved you, make sure to subscribe to Whispered Words, where every tale reminds us, real strength isn't about rank, it's about respect.